Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how I made my own homemade garden hose reel. Now, I'm sure we have all dealt with scenarios like that. Garden hoses that they get all tangled up and they're hard to keep straight. And that's the reason why I decided to make my own homemade garden hose reel. And there it is. It's a thing of beauty. Well, I know it's not a thing of beauty, but it sure works like one, and I'm going to show you how I made it. First, I looked for an old tire rim, and I make sure I got a small one so it was not too heavy. Then I looked for an old bike like that, and I'll show you what I did to the bike. I took that old bike and I cut the frame apart. I cut the pipe that goes up to the seat and all the pipe that go back to the rear wheel. The only thing I saved was the 2 foot pedals and this big pipe that goes up to the steering column. Now, out of the 2 foot pedals, you're going to have to cut one. And this is the one you have to cut. The one that is next to the gear mechanism that drives the chain that goes back to the rear tire. Now, on some bike there's plastic safety pieces over here that you're going to have to remove, like the one on the outside of the gear and this one in here, because you're going to have to weld that gear mechanism to the front of the rim. Now, there's different bikes that have different options. This bike right here has a nut inside the foot pedal that you can take out, and then you can pull the foot pedal out. Other ones, you can cut it. Whatever ways is the bike that you find, you can find a way of doing it. So you're going to have to cut one of the foot pedals, and I'll show you what to do next. Now here's the gear mechanism, the foot pedal, and the pipe that I saved from that old bike. Now right here is the footrest for the foot pedal. And I ground that off because it was plastic, and it came in handy because now that foot pedal looks just like a handle that you can use to spin this reel around. Now, here's the gear mechanism that I had left, because looking at it like that, I cut the foot pedal on the other side. So that allows me to set this gear mechanism on front of the rim, in the front of the rim. Now, when I did that, I made sure that I put this gear mechanism right in the center of that rim. And you can see how I tack welded it all around. And the reason why you have to put that in as center as you can in the center of the rim is so when you weld it, this rim here, the reel can spin, balance. You see? If you didn't do that, then you probably would have had a hop in it or something like that, and we don't want that. So make sure it's center and you weld it to the front of the rim. Now we're going to go back to the back of the rim, and I'll show you what I did. Here's the back of the rim. On the back of the rim right here, I cut a 2.5-inch flat piece of steel, and I welded it on the center of the rim from one edge to the other one, making sure again that that piece is right on the center of the rim so the thing can spin balance. Then after that, I drill a 1/2-inch hole right in the center of that piece of steel. The reason why I drill that 1/2-inch hole is to connect this swivel that I ordered from Amazon to this 1/2-inch female adapter. And because this steel here was not thick enough, as you can see, I had to put a washer in there to thicken this metal up, because the nipple that I used in there, it was kind of long. So that allowed me to tighten up both of the connectors, this one with this one, and now the swivel, you know, moves on the outside, but it's very tight in here. And then I kept on going with this pipe all the way through the front of the rim right there. Let me just put another angle right there. I went in through one of the holes in the front of the rim, right through there, and I put in a C-clamp in there. And what that C-clamp does is it keeps this pipe here from moving side to side like that. Because when you pull the hose in the front of the rim, the pipe may go this way or it may go that way. And when it does that, it'll untwist and it'll loosen itself right here, and then you're gonna have a water leak, and we don't want that. So that's the reason why I put that clamp in there. Now let's go back to the front of the rim again. Okay, here's the front of the rim, and this is where I came out with the pipe. See, 1/2" 90 into another 1/2" 90 into another 1/2" female adapter into finally the garden hose connector, garden hose thread to 1/2" pipe trap. Now I had to cut a piece of the flange. See how this rim has the flange right here? I cut about, I don't know, about a 6" piece of that flange. And the reason why I did that was so I can accommodate this pipe right here, and also so this pipe here can follow the contour of the rim. So when you connect the hose right here, the hose kind of follow the contour of the rim also, because you don't want the hose to kink right here. So that's the reason why I did that. You see, that lines up pretty good with the rim. So that came out nice. Now when I connected the hose in here and I came out to use the hose, what happened was the hose, when it's loaded with water, the weight of the hose and the hose itself, when you start undoing the hose keeps unwinding this reel like that, and then you end up with all this hose on the floor right there that you don't want. And to counteract that problem, what I did was something very simple that came out like a thing of beauty. And what I did was this right here, it's a simple door hasp. See it right here? And because this rim or this gear mechanism has holes, like you can see, it's got holes all the way around. So I took this door hasp and I welded it to the frame, to the gear mechanism of the bike. This is where the ball bearings are. There's a ball bearing here and another ball bearing on the other end. So I welded it to that housing right there, and all I had to do is just lock it in or unlock it. If I lock it, the rim cannot spin. See, it's locked. So now whenever I uncoil the amount of hose that I want, I just lock it and that's it. So that came out like a thing of beauty. I really love that idea. I tell you, I always say simple things work easy, and they also last a very, very long time. So I'm sure this hose reel is going to last me a long time, because this bad boy here is a beast. I mean, look at it. It's all steel. There's nothing that can go wrong with it. I mean, I can't even think of anything that can go wrong with this thing here. It's all steel. Maybe this swivel right here, it might leak someday, but you just order another one and put it in. I mean, you know how rugged bike foot pedals are. You know how much stress you put on it when you ride in it. So you don't have to worry about this bearing here going bad. I mean, what can I say? I can't say anything negative about this thing here. It's just a great invention. I mean, look at it. Look how easy this thing spins. I mean, look at that. Look at that thing. Isn't that a thing of beauty? I love it. Beautiful. Now let me show you something else that I think is good about this hose reel right here. Now look at this. I took an 1.5 inch black pipe and I drove it in the ground, and I put it inside of the pipe from the bike frame that I end up with, and I use it like a stand. You can put it up as high as the ground if you want. So I put it in the ground like a stand, and I put one pipe inside the other one. And what that allows this hose reel to do is to spin 90 or 180 degrees. Or you can spin it, you can spin it all the way around. I mean, can one of those expensive hose reels do that? I doubt it, but they cost a lot of money. So this thing here, it's beautiful. And also, if you have multiple water spigots like that around your house, you just go over there and you drive a pipe in the ground. Put in a pipe, whatever size pipe it is. And then you just take this thing here and you just lift it. See? You just lift it and go bring it over there, and this way you only have to have one hose reel for the whole entire house. Now this thing has been out here for about 7 years, and the only thing I done to it is I painted it once or twice. So this thing here is gonna be here for a very, very long time. I'm gonna show you now how to coil the hose in, so you see how easy this thing works. Okay, I'm gonna coil a 50-foot hose so you can see how easy it is to do. Now, look how easy I'm gonna connect this hose to this connector right here. I mean, you can actually do it one hand. Look at that. That's how easy it is to do, because there's room to do it. A lot of those other hose reel, this thing is hidden somewhere where it's hard for you to get your hand in. Look, I did it with my left hand. That's how easy it is. Now I'm gonna coil so you see how easy it is to coil. I mean, look at this. Now, was that smooth or what? That was a thing of beauty. So now, if I want to uncoil hose, I uncoil. Look how easy that hose comes out of there. Now, I had enough hose. If I think I had enough hose, I just lock it. There it is. No more hose. No mess of hose here on the floor. It works beautiful. Now let's unlock it right here. I'm going to unlock it and coil it back in. Oh. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Finish. Now you can take this thing here and just lift the whole thing with, if you're done, you just unhook this thing right here and just lift the whole thing up like that and bring it in the garage for the winter. That's beautiful. Now this hose reel here, the hose, it's coiled up in it, which is, it's heavy and it's loaded with water. And I'm still going to show you how easy how this hose reel spins, even with the hose on it. I mean, if you want to just spin it around right here, you grab it by the handle, and look at that. That's with the hose in it. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Look at that. Now look over here. Look how that swivels around. Stays right in position. And the beauty about this whole thing is right here. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I only spend about $24 in it, a swivel and 2 hose connectors. And like I say, there is a lot of beautiful hose reels out there, and they do a beautiful job, but they also cost a lot of money. This thing right here, I'd be willing to bet that this hose reel here is going to outlast most of the hose reels out there in the market today. There is nothing that can go wrong with this thing here. It'll last you for years. I hope this video can help you in any way, and I'll be posting different videos down the road for different things for the house that can make your life a little easier. So I hope this can help you, and maybe you can make yourself your own one. So thank you for watching, and God bless.